something that someone ain't already told us. But he said your arm was in a cast for a good part of that camp. What happened?
Correct. Well, I was sparring, and I went to throw away a body shot, and the guy at the time, to defend himself, he didn't really just cover up. He was getting punched with I was basically hitting him any punch that I wanted at that time, and when I went to the body, he covered up, but he bent over, and his elbows was sticking out like a sharp object. So when I came over, the elbow went right into my arm, and I come with a lot of force, so immediately it snapped, and
Your right forearm broke?
correct,
Forearm.
correct.
How long was it in a cast?
I don't know exactly how long it was in the cast because of course, for me, I'm a warrior. I ain't finna
covered that
stop
up
this
real
mob,
well.
man. What? We had to. We kept everything on the hush. Everything was secret. We made sure my doctor kept an eye on everything as time go on, and we was telling him like, I need this. I got to it. During that time, I only had 12 weeks and 4 days for this whole arm to heal. And 12 weeks and 4 days, you know what happened in 12 weeks, 4 days? I got the biggest fight of my life happening in 12 weeks and 4 days.
It happened 12 weeks and 4 days prior
Yes.
to that fight
Yes.
with Tyson.
Yes.
So how long were you in a cast?
I can't remember how long. It wasn't the extent, the full extent time that it should have been in there.
3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks?
If I guess, if I would say between 4 to 6 weeks, maybe my trainer would know more because he was keeping up with it. I wasn't keeping. My mindset was on this fight, and I was gonna be there. That night. That's all I was concerned about.
Could you use?
Those are the words, once again, of Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Now, you clearly heard this man say that he hurt he broke, not hurt, he broke his forearm. So it's his right forearm. He said he went to go for a punch, and he swung wide, and the guy put his elbow out, and he hit the elbow, and then therefore his forearm snapped. I think it's the nebula. I think it's called. And the reason for this is the reason I'm making this here. Because people thought that I was crazy when I brought up a particular statement. Deontay Wilder claimed, just as of last week, this was last week, he claimed that he broke his hand. Okay? Now, you heard Deontay Wilder say this just last week. Just last week. That I broke my hand. I don't see how he turns this into my arm. Now, he said arm first. He said, I broke my arm back in 18. He said it in an article. Then last week he said, I broke my hand, which he's broke his hand before. So don't get that confused with what he currently said. Now he said, I broke my arm. That's why I couldn't throw the punches that I needed to throw. Okay? So then when someone comparison, December 4th, admirable, this would make broke my hand, Deontay Wilder said.
Then if I broke it in the fight, then I'm getting paid. I told him before that I would baptize him. And anybody know anything?
Hold on, guys.
The first first Fury fight, I broke my hand, so I only had one hand. The right hand was it was very off in camp. I didn't want to throw it to injure it even more. I felt like if I reserved it and throwed it in the fight, then if I broke it in the fight, then I'm getting paid. You know, I told him before that I would baptize him, and anybody know anything.
This is my video from February 11th. Okay? I don't know what date February. That was Friday. That was what? Tuesday? Last Tuesday. He said he broke his fucking hand. Did you guys hear that? How does a hand, again, see, this is why you need PR. You need people in control of what you say. Because everything you say has to be consistent, especially when you're telling lies. And I say lies because you can't turn a hand into an arm. You can't turn a fucking foot into a leg. And in fact, I went a step further. I called a good friend of mine. We trained together. John 5. Shout out to John 5. Iron Scorpion martial arts. Right? And he broke the same hand. Same arm. And he said that he was in his cast from 8 weeks. And that's when they tell you can take it out and without the cast. But you don't supposed to ever be throwing it, because you do, it starts burning, it starts aching. He says he didn't even worry about it. It didn't even bother him. Now, unless his bones are that damn heavy, or he has some type of nerve problems or whatever, or he's just dumb as fuck. People, you cannot confuse your hand with your arm. Again, this is an interview he said. And I know ESPN guys, I know they probably were like, why the fuck would he say that? Because they can't think with their own opinions and their own mindset. They just have to listen to celebrities or athletes that do so for them or to them. See, it's bad when you have this type of excuses. Look, no excuses. And for the record, like a friend of mine told me, he could not throw that fucking hand the way he should have thrown it, the way his intensity. Oh, I had it in a cast, a sling. Show us something that you, even if you had it in a sling, that doesn't suffice for you having it in a cast. Oh, I didn't have it. I don't even remember. Do you see how absent that is? He doesn't even know. He couldn't tell you when I got it on or how that happened. But let me break something else down to you. The right hand has been broken how many times? To Deontay Wilder. Think about it. Don't this man got a iron plate in his hand? Right? Don't he have an iron plate in his hand? Because he's broke his hand to the extent because he doesn't know how to fucking punch. He doesn't know how to turn a punch over. Or he didn't know how at that time and he broke his damn hand. So they had to put a rod or some metal in it. Right? So how in the fuck would you compare or you confuse that with your hand or your arm? Your hand, here's your hand, your arm, right? These are two different fucking bones. Even if you said your fingers, hey man, I broke my finger. You wouldn't say I broke my hand. That doesn't even make sense. Again, he has to be a dumbass or a person that's lying. You got to take your pick, people. Because if he can't decipher the fact of, oh, did I break my hand or did I break my arm? Look, listen, you get the first one right. I broke my arm. He said that to ESPN.
Sometimes, you know, you in camp, I didn't want to throw it to injure it even more. I felt like if I reserved it and threw it in the fight, then if I broke it in the fight, then I'm getting Fury fight. I broke my hand, so I only had one hand. The right hand was
right hand, the right hand. Dude, are you talking about your hand or are you talking about your fucking arm? Again, I've already done a video on this, but this guy keeps changing up body parts. Oh, I kicked a dude. I broke my leg. Oh, no, I broke my foot. Dude, we can't do that. Even the dumbest of the dumbest people know the difference between your foot and your fucking leg. You don't say that. And I'm just trying. And I called and I was like, is there any part where you have someone that's punching and he breaks his hand and then he says his arm? And you know what that reply was? No, but you can break your hand and put your hand in a cast. It extends to your arm, but that's not your arm though. It's supporting your arm. And the only reason you break your arm is you have to have something that's supporting that bone to keep from doing certain things. Look, let me tell you something. Deontay Wilder's lying. He did not break shit. Okay? He's either lying or he's dumb. I don't think he's that stupid. I refuse to think that man's that dumb to confuse your hand with your arm. Deontay Wilder didn't break anything. Now, in the past, when he has his iron rod or whatever, yes, that's been verified because he was actually at the doctor's and they were showing what he was doing and the rehab he was using at that time. I seen that. I don't remember what fight that was. I think it was the Stavern fight. I think. I'm not sure though. But it showed that he had broke that hand. Why would he say, I broke my arm? Dude, now you said he went from arm, the hand, back to arm. In a series of 9 days. And I don't see how people can't catch on to that. People are not stupid. You're riding with Wilder, you cannot cover that shit up. And I'm sorry, look, when I hear bullshit, I gotta call you on it. That's what the counterpunching is about. Okay? Deontay Wilder needs to make his mind up. He either broke his arm, like he said, he did it in training. So if that's the case, how you turn your arm into your hand? Okay? Your hand is, you didn't punch your hand. So now it's his arm. Look, let's stop the bullshit. Okay? It's time for us to be real about Deontay Wilder. He threw that punch a lot. If he really broke his arm, he wouldn't be able to throw those punches like he threw. He said, if I'm going to break it, I'm going to break it doing this. Well, that kind of sounds like or re-break it rather. Really, that's what you should say. Not if I break it, I'm going to break it in. No. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about this particular video. Was it his hand? Was it his arm again? It went from arm to hand, back to arm. You guys tell me what you think he meant. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunching. Peace.